Okay, so you're saying like discomfort in the shoulder. You said armpit and back of the shoulder blade area, like around the rear delts. Tell me more about it. You said it comes and goes.
Yeah, every once in a while it'll come and go. Through the years, it's something. I remember this happening probably probably like 8, 9 years ago when it first really happened, where I think it was just from, now here's the thing, something's putting stress on my shoulder that's causing discomfort when it's coming back. And I notice that it'll get to a point that even if I sleep on it, I'll get discomfort. And it feels like almost the armpit area is a bit inflamed into the rear delt. Now, through the years, I didn't know if it was just from heavy shoulder press or heavy bench press. I've switched from like bench pressing to floor pressing. I just find it more comfortable. But as far as like anything else, as far as like shoulder press standing, doesn't really give me an issue. I don't know if it's because I can switch my, like rotate my elbows in a bit when I'm pressing. But you know what, the one thing I found, and I don't know if this is what it was, that really, and it's always given me issues now that I think about it, is barbell back squats.
Yeah.
Holding the barbell on my back, I feel like when I come down and up, it is putting so much pressure on my shoulder. And then it's achy and sore. And I switched to front squats, and front squats were like a million times better. No pain,
Yeah.
no issue. And I'm like, okay, so let me try heavier, 3s and 5s with a floor press. Did the floor presses, no issue. Other than just a soreness, you know what I mean? A little achy, but nothing like that barbell. I felt like when I was getting off the squat, I literally had to, my arm out of there.
Yeah.
And it was just sore. So I'm like, okay, is this?
So probably just way too much rotation for your shoulder to handle, and especially under load. So like with a back squat, you're creating so much compression load like through the spine, which compression is fine as long as you can tolerate it. It's just a matter of like, can you get there comfortably? Which I remember last summer, we were able to get you to back squat, and you did have some limitation in the upper body, but you were able to handle it just fine. And maybe you just got to a point where that amount of rotation with compression in the upper back is just not tolerable. And that's why front squats are just fine. So it's definitely position based. So you can keep going. Any kind of daily stuff that it affects?
Other than like when I wake up, it's a little achy. Like now it's a little achy, but I did train the other day. I mean, so you know what I mean? So I could take a little bit of discomfort. I notice if I do a little bit of like some stretching and mobility, it gets better. Like I can feel like it really loosens up. Like if I put my hand up and let it just hang, I'd give somebody $1 million. It would just pull it up, you know what I mean? Or any of the stretching that we used to do when you used to take me through range of motion, that just felt like the best thing in the world. So I don't know if it's a point of me just being lazy and not doing what I'm supposed to be doing when it comes to enough mobility work, or I'm also over the fact that I have to do that movement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Too. So like I said,
well, here's the thing too, is like you say, like you may have to do mobility work, but it's like the question of what mobility work do you need? So,
right.
And especially if you're limited on time, it's like, all right, well, we may need to narrow down, like, what's the mobility work that's going to be like most effective for you to get where you need to be? So
yeah, it's like with the back mobility work that we went over, like I have been doing those, and like, knock on wood, no issues. Like no issues. Like I couldn't even at one point bend over row because of the pressure on my lower back. But after doing those movements, I was bent over rowing, and I'm like, oh my God. And then you go up and wait, you're like, oh my God, there's nothing there. And it's like, oh wow, when you actually stick to that program, it works.
Hey man, it's exactly what we were just talking about.
You're right. Right?
Stick to it, it works. All right. So where is it currently a little bit achy? You mentioned the armpit area.
More in here, and I'll say more here. Like not achy, but sore here, and then a little bit in the rear delt area. No specific movement really gets it. It's just more achy.
Okay. Is there anything that directly causes pain? Because you've been talking about discomfort, achy, anything specific that it's like, that hurts, other than the back squat and the bench press?
Not really. I find if I lay on it, but I feel like that's once it's agitated. When I lay on it, I'll wake up, and it's not a bad pain. It's just like, oh, but more it feels like a little inflamed in the armpit area more than anything. But like if I lay on it, I may wake up a little achy, but I feel like I'm good after stretching. But it's more, no, outside of really, and I did back squats, I want to say last week, and I was like, oh, these are no good. Like, I just can't get the mobility with them. But outside of that, just general achiness just from being sore from working out and pressing. But that's very, like, I almost feel like that's soreness and a little bit of ache that I can handle.
Okay.
But, like, after the back squats and pulling back for 4 or 5 sets, that was, like, unbearable for a few days. Like, ow.
And when you're doing it and you feel it afterwards, like from the back squats, where is it? Is it really in the back?
It feels like, it actually feels kind of like my whole shoulder. Like,
Okay.
when I'm back squatting here, it feels like it's pulling back so much. It's back here in the rear and the lateral. And then, like I said, that armpit area a little bit.
Now, is it pain in all those areas? Is it discomfort, ache? Is it like more directly, like for example, is it more painful here and maybe more pulling here? Or is it all feel about the same?
It all feels about the same as far as achiness. It's all like, just like, it feels like somebody, it's weird because when we would do the mobility work, it felt great. You know what I mean? But that, you know, that stretching it just feels like my arm is, it's an ache. It's like a deep ache.
Okay. All right. So like what I like doing with all my patients is, what is your goal for getting out of this? So I always like to track this. Like, what do you specifically want out of this? Whether it's, okay, we know that you want to feel better. We already know that. But is there anything specific that you want to be able to do? Now, is it be able to bench press again without an issue? Is it be able to back squat without an issue? Or are you good with like having those modifications? Like, I always like to know is directly, all right, what do we need to change out of this? I already know the symptoms you want to change.
Right.
Because it's not just, and you want to get rid of that.
Right. But I think as far as back squat, I mean, if I could, less pain when I'm going through physical activity such as bench pressing and stuff like that, and knowing how to like properly warm up to limit the amount of ache or discomfort I'm going to get post workout, or what I can do on days when I'm not working out to help them, you know, help not be in so much discomfort, basically.
Okay.
So basically ways to save my shoulder but still be able to lift as much as I want. And that makes sense. I'm sure for people that work out, that makes totally sense.
Do you have a chair by chance?
I do.
Good. So we'll start in the chair, and you can actually start with facing me.
Okay, you want me to sit down?
Yeah, go ahead, sit down. Okay, ways to be able to save shoulder. Any previous treatments? I assume not, just because of the situation.
No, you know what? It's really weird. It's been one of those things where it would come. I would take a few weeks off. I would do no pressing movements, which is funny now that I think about it because I still squatted. I would do no pressing movements, but I would just rest it. And then after like 6 to 8 weeks, I could work myself back in. And then I feel like it happened again, and it was like the same thing. Now, and it only happens once in a while. That's the crazy thing. Like it's not like it's one of those things that happens all the time.
But like right now, it is one of those episodes.
Yeah, it's achy right now.
Yeah. Okay. Here's what I want to do. So this is something that I like to check. Anyone that's got a shoulder issue, I want to see is, do we have any change in what you feel in your shoulder by moving through your neck? Okay. Just think that all of our nerves in our shoulders, in our arms, and our hands, they originate at the neck. So what we can find is if we can take pressure off the nerve a little bit, say like there's a little bit of an impingement or something on the nerve at the root level, so like in the neck area, like we can get an influence on like extremity symptoms by moving through the neck. So if it's achy right now, it's like, all right, does the ache change with any of the neck movements that we do? Okay, so we're going to start with that. So first thing, just sitting there, is all I'm going to have you simply do is bring your chin down to your chest. So look down as far as you can. Let me know what you feel. Does that ache change in any way? Do you feel stretch anywhere?
I feel a stretch.
Both sides or more so on the right?
More so on the inflamed side, which is the right.
Okay. Does it change the ache?
No, it actually feels good.
Okay, so there's a potential that the ache could have some kind of muscular involvement if it just generally feels good, but we'll explore that more. Let's, can you see me? Let's look up and back as far as you can, as far back as you can go with your head, and let me know what you feel.
Mostly nothing with that one. Nothing much.
The ache stays the same while you do it?
If he actually feels a little relieved, like a little more of a stretch coming back.
Like while you hold it there, does the ache still present itself?
Yeah.
Okay. And
So
then afterwards?
Afterwards, it's pretty much back to normal.
Okay, so the same. Okay, so now we're going to tip to the side. So I want you to think, bring your ear to your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Hold it there. Let me know what you feel with that.
That just feels good on the left side as a general stretch. It feels like a pull, but a good pull.
Okay, now let's go the other way.
Yeah, that's really tight.
Just tight on the right?
That's really tight. Yeah, like on the left side, I was able to go right down pretty much.
And when you went to the left,
going this
so
way?
go ahead, go to the, or, I'm sorry, when you went to the right, so go to the right again. Does the ache still present itself?
It feels a little less, Okay.
And when you come back up, does it stay the same or does it start to diminish? Does it remain diminished?
It remains diminished. Yeah, it's not that much. Anything on that side.
Okay, so a little better after doing that movement, to be honest.
Yeah, this coming to the left from the right side, it feels like the very limited mobility on that side.
Yeah.
And I feel a pulling in my shoulder.
Yep. So just think like muscles in your neck, like upper trap, levator scapula, scalenes, like posterior scalenes, like they have influence and attachment to your shoulder blade, collarbone area, stuff like that. So you going this way, and especially because like you said, like looking down, you feel a pull on the right. So now tipping away, like I anticipate some kind of stretch, and that could definitely be influenced into the shoulder blade. Okay, good to know. The aches still stay the same? Is it still reduced from what it was, or is it kind of back to where it was?
It's more reduced. It feels good. Like just that little stretch kind of just feels good. But again, it's more armpit and around, you know?
Yeah. Okay, we're going to look at rotation. So turn to the right as far as you can. Let me know what you feel. Seems
Other
a
than
little bit limited.
Yeah.
And now go to the left. Not as limited.
Yeah, not as I could tell. I'm getting way more on the left than on the right.
Any change in symptoms or any stretch with that? Like, does the ache remain the same? Do you feel any stretching, or it just feels normal to the right, limited, or normal to the left, limited to the right?
It just feels really tight on the right. When I turn my head to the right,
yeah,
I could feel the tightness up in the trap area.
Okay. All right. Now we're gonna do. So watch me here. I want you to jut your chin forward as far as you can. Let me know what you feel.
Nothing much there.
And now pull back as far as you can. Yeah, there you go. Hold it there for a minute for me. It may feel stretchy. I would be surprised if it's stretchy on the right. What's the ache feel like while you do that?
The ache wasn't bad, more just tightness in the back of the neck. Like just pulling back.
On both sides?
Just in the middle.
No change in the in here?
No, not on that.
Okay. All right. So let's stand up I'm going to move you here.
Okay, can you see me okay?
So far, yes. I'm going to go over actually, before I go over these movements with you, do you have a wall to use? Like the wall that you can rest against, and I'll be able to kind of see. And it's not for the first movement. It'll be for at least another movement.
Yep, I got a wall right here.
Can you turn me just a little bit? I can see the wall.
Sure. How's that?
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so the first one we'll do, I'll demonstrate. I want to see a side view of this. Is actually reaching down to your toes. Keep the knees straight. The purpose of this is I want to see your ability to elongate all of the muscles in the back of your body. You don't have to worry about the wall. So actually, can you move to your left a little bit?
This way?
Just so I can like, no, your left.
Oh.
So is your right side facing, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So give me one more step to the left. And the reason is just so I can see. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're good there.
You see that okay?
Yeah, I took a screenshot just because
Perfect.
I can send it to you, and I see some like limitations. I see limitations in the ability to elongate the lower back and the upper back, more specifically around like the upper trap area. You like over exaggerate the hump in the mid thoracic spine, so it's like you have the ability to move through there, but you have some limitations in the lower and the upper part. The upper part could be relevant to what limitations that you do have. Okay. So let's go over the wall.
And take as many pictures as you want, and you could do a write up, and I can do a write up and post that too, just in case this is choppy, because we can always do a follow up once your office opens.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, I just want to make sure you know what I mean. Yep.
What's that?
Yep.
Okay. So just watch me here. I want you to sit into a little bit of a squat. Your head, your upper back, your lower back, your hips, everything's going to be against the wall. I'm going to be limited here. And I might be able to show you something of how quickly I can go from limited to unlimited. But here's the test. Everything stays against the wall, especially the lower back. The lower back tends to arch on this. Keep it flat against the wall. Can you get your thumbs to the wall? I'm actually not limited.
Okay, I could try that out.
And the reason what's good about this is you can test this on your own. So yeah, you're pretty limited there, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Come back down. Any pain with that?
No pain. Just limited. Yeah, at the end, if there's certain things you want me to redo so you can get pictures of, like totally, like I want to do it like if you could do a big write-up, I'll do a big write-up, or I'll share yours because you're probably way more technical than I am when it comes to writing stuff.
Okay. Here, do this for me. Can you turn the phone just a touch more? Because I couldn't see the comparison of the hands to the wall. Yeah, so just turn it to the left just a touch. Yeah, okay. Now redo the test.
Okay. Now I'm going to come down, back against here, lower back against the wall, head against the wall.
Everything against the wall.
Squatting. Now I'm forcing my lower back against it.
Yep,
and here we go.
Maintain that pressure there. Because this could be something that you can test on your own.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're looking at least a good 6 inches from the wall, if not maybe a little bit more than that. Okay, bring it down. So this test is called back to wall shoulder flexion. Now, there's some people in the sports performance realm. If their athlete, for example, like a baseball player, cannot pass this test, they're not doing any overhead strength work. If they can pass the test, then they clear for overhead strength work. Just as an example.
Oh, okay.
So, like, for example, if you want to do push press, it's probably a good idea that you can pass this test, aka get your hands to the wall, as just a general framework of, okay, I have the general mobility for this. All right. Now, so we have that done. You can turn the phone a little bit. Actually, I don't know how much I need to demonstrate, but I'm going to have you face behind, or I'm going to have you face backwards, and I want you to do a jumping jack. I'm going to have you do, or not an actual jumping jack, but just with your arms. So think out to the side and up. Do both arms together, and then I'll have you do individually. I want you to hold it at the top. Keep the elbows straight for me.
And don't worry about leg movement?
Correct. So I just say jumping jack is in like, that's the motion I want, but I don't want you to think like doing a jumping jack. I want you to think like, I want your arms moving through that range. Get to the top and hold it there and let me know what you feel.
A little tightness. I can tell you right now, tightness in the lats.
On both sides or just the one side?
Well, the one side, well, both sides. I think my lats are really tight anyway. And and a little and more range of motion issue on the right hand side, the one that's inflamed or the one that's bothering me.
Generally, it's not bad.
Yeah, my ceiling's a little low.
Oh, okay. You can actually bend your knees a little bit.
Okay, so it'd be like, yeah, I can feel it on the right hand side as being limited.
Okay. Flexion. All right, so now look at me. Let's go both hands like this and rotate out for me. Keep the elbows to your side, rotate your hands out.
Can you see?
Yep, I can see it. Looks a little limited on the right.
Yeah, I would say so, yeah. Both are feeling it, but I could definitely tell the right is definitely limited.
Okay. Any pain with either of these so far?
No, honestly, a lot of it feels like, I don't want to make sure I'm using the right word. Like most of it, a lot of it feels impinged. Like I can't get a full range of motion. I feel like I'm blocked is what it's feeling like.
Yeah, I agree. And that's the thing is we want to find what allows your restrictions to open up, AKA the ability to move through the range just fine. All right, let's check. So face me one side, pull straight back as far as you can. Let's go the good side first.
Okay, so just pull back?
Yeah, so bring your elbow back and up as far as you can without leaning forward.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of like you're doing a row, but exaggerating the row with the elbow. Okay, let's check the other side. That's limited.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels like clogged up. You know what I mean? Like I can't get through ranges of motion and
yeah, and it seems clogged up like with all directions so far. Like there's not one specific direction. Okay, we're going to check two here. Let's check the good side first. You're going to reach over the top, and then you're going to reach behind. But I don't want you cheating. Here's cheating.
Gotcha. Standing up straight you want.
I want it just arm and shoulder movements.
Okay.
And yeah, whenever you're ready, we'll compare. Let's start with the left side first. Reach over the top. Okay, we're looking at about T3. You can bring it down, and let's do the same test on the right now.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Just a little shy, I would say.
Okay.
1 second. T2, T3. Okay, go ahead with the so this is functional internal rotation, or what they call as aptly scratch test. So go ahead on the left, reach behind and up without wiggling. There you go. So we'll say about T8, just below the shoulder blades, and go on the rights. Definitely not as good. I might give you like T12 on that.
Ooh, yeah.
T12, T8. So I'm saying like thoracic areas. Okay. We do need the chair again. I will demonstrate really quick. I just want to see what these look like. So you'll actually sit with the back side of the chair in front, clasp your hands together, and rotate. I am very limited with rotation, but rotate to the right as far as you can. Rotate to the left as far as you can.
Okay.
Up, face away from me.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
Bend your elbows for me. So clasp your hands with your elbows. Like, so bring your hands to your chest. Yeah.
Okay.
And now
And do that?
like
that. Okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
Which one feels more limited?
I feel like turning to the left-hand side feels more limited on that one.
I agree. All right. I want to check some stuff on your back. I'm going to use my table, but you can very easily just use the floor. You might need like a small like towel or something that you'll be able to rest your arm on for a couple of them.
Okay.
Even if it's like a small pillow or toy or stuffed animal maybe.
Oh, I got stuffed animals.
That might work.
I mean, they're not mine, but I have some animals.
Oh, I know. I was asking for yours.
It's
okay, man. Like
this work?
That'll work. We'll use Panda Bear's head.
There we go. And then I could take you right to the ground too.
Cool. So yeah, while you get that set up, I'm gonna get set up. I'm gonna lay down. I'll show you all three of them.
Okay.
Can you see me pretty good?
I could see your torso up.
Perfect. I don't care about the legs, but I will have you have your knees bent up.
Okay.
Can you see my legs real quick?
I can't see your legs, but they're bent and together, I'm guessing?
Yeah, so you're going to lay like this. Can you see them now?
Gotcha.
Yeah. All right. Back stays flat. Let's check this one again on the ground. And then here's the next two. You're going to put this like this. Keep the shoulder down. You're going to rotate back, and then you're going to rotate forward. Think of your arm as a windshield wiper. Okay? And if you feel the shoulder pop up in your hand, stop there.
Okay. So you want me to do this first? So I'm laying here. Can you see me okay?
Yeah, I can see you good. I would say slide down, or actually slide to your left just a little bit. So actually move away from the camera a little bit, because that'll allow me to see a little bit more.
How's that?
And slide down towards your feet a little bit more.
How's that?
That looks good.
Okay. Now, first we're doing is just
So keep the back flat and let's reach arms overhead. Elbows stay straight. It's the same test as we did, but I want to see how it is laying down, where the effects of gravity are a little bit different.
Okay. Ready?
Yep. Keep the elbows straight too.
Okay, straight as I can get to about there.
Okay. I got a shot of that. Saved photos. Okay, you can come back. And now take Teddy and do the right side first, since the right side is facing me.
Okay. And we want, oops, sorry. This is here, right? Is this Teddy's underneath my elbow?
Go a little closer to the elbow.
More here.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And now lay flat.
Gotcha.
Hopefully Teddy's bum is not in the way, but let's
I can do that.
Yeah, there you go.
Right there I can get to.
See, that's not bad. And so your shoulder external rotation might give you the ability to get in the back squat position. The issue may be in your upper back. So the limited ability to move through your upper back, because that rotation there is not bad.
Gotcha. Okay.
Let me write that down. So you get to about 90.
Okay.
And now let's go the other way into internal rotation. This one I anticipate will be limited. So your shoulder's kind of popping up already. I can see it. So put your left hand on the front of your shoulder. And now if you feel that your shoulder pops up in your hand, I want you to stop there.
Okay. Right there.
Jeez. So let me take a shot of that. Okay, you can spin around. I'll go the other side. We're going to say about 40. 160.
Can you see me okay?
Yeah, I see you pretty good.
Perfect. Ready?
Yep. Does this left side seem a little bit more limited than the right?
I don't, yeah, and now, I mean, coming back.
Bring your elbow a little bit higher. So slide it up so it's a little bit more in line with your shoulder.
So you want it more here? Oh,
up
I
towards
see
your head, like elbow, like
right there.
Yeah, that's good there. See, I look at the arm; it doesn't quite get to that 90 degrees like the other side does. So
Gotcha.
This side is actually more limited in external rotation or that like back squat position compared to the right.
Okay.
And now let's check the internal rotation. I wouldn't be surprised if you have more internal rotation on this side.
Yeah.
And you don't feel the shoulder popping up?
No, not.
Yeah, much better.
There.
So that's kind of a difference in your shoulder sockets there. You can go ahead and relax. The reason what I'm saying with that is, so think of your shoulder's a ball and socket joint. The way that the ball can rotate can be influenced by the position of the socket. So like your shoulder blades are facing a little bit different on one side compared to the other. And so what I mean by that is if your shoulder blades are resting on your rib cage, if they're positioned a little bit differently, so this is, so I'm cheating a little bit. And I remember some of your measurements, like your rib cage measurement in the past was narrow and it was asymmetrical where your left side was narrower than your right. So if I take your left rib cage, it's pushed, like it's rotated back and the right one is kind of flared out. Okay. So when your left side is rotated back, so I want you to think of, if it's rotated back, it's similar to like, you're kind of rotated like this, which means your shoulder blade sinks back and down. All right. As a result of that, when you rotate your arm back, you're running into the shoulder blade a little bit sooner compared to the other side is kind of reached forward a little bit, which is not a bad thing, but you have a little bit more external rotation, a little bit less internal rotation as a result of that. So you're like, so your shoulder blades are sitting in a different position, which limits your rotation in one direction versus the other direction, if that makes sense.
Yep, I'm with you.
But there is some restriction on the right that is significantly limiting the right side versus the left in regards to the internal rotation. So the two don't fully add up. Like there's times where the two rotations, if you add them up on both sides, they equal out to the same. So if I add up your internal rotation and your external rotation, we get to 130, where on the left side, your internal rotation, external rotation, now this is ballpark. This is a ballpark based on eyeballing it, but you're about like 150 on the left where you're about 130 on the right. So I think there is some soft tissue limitation that is playing a role in your limitation, and it's an internal rotation. So we do want to do something that improves internal rotation. So I do got to write this down. One of the big things that I want to see first, which you kind of know from like the lower back stuff that we've done, is I want to do some things that address you more globally first, and then we get more like specific. So the one rotation stretch, we're not going to do it right away. Okay. I want to try, so you were limited in the overhead on both sides, but and the internal rotation or the reach behind your back on both sides, but it's like you were symmetrically limited overhead relatively, and you had much more of a limitation or an asymmetry in the reach behind test on the right versus the left. So I'm going to start with that first. We're going to do two funky exercises that addresses the global aspect of it. And I want to see what kind of result it has from a focal standpoint. So global being it addresses the rib cage, the scapula, and the arm itself all together, and then we'll get more specific after that. Okay. If that makes sense. Kind of like when we did with the breathing exercises for your back, it's like, all right, we're addressing this globally first, but we stuck with global, and it resulted in improvement in specific stuff with the back and the hip and stuff like that, if you remember. Okay. All right. So we're gonna do a funky lunge exercise with breathing.
Okay.
All right. Now, you have an idea of the breathing, which this helps because you have an idea of what I'm looking for with some of the breathing stuff. All right. We're going to address the right side, and what I'm looking for is that you feel expansion in your right upper back with this one, okay? So just watch me here. I'm going to go through it. We're going to use the right arm because we're trying to influence the right side, and I want you to think your thumb is going to be facing you. So think like if you're pounding on a door, that's going to be your arm position, okay? We're going to go right foot forward. Can you see me pretty well?
Yep.
So just watch me first, because then I'm going to watch you do it.
Okay.
All right? So we're going to go right foot forward, left foot back, and I want you to sink down in a squat, and I want you to tuck your hips under you, just like the quadruped breathing. And now we'll get your arm in that position. I want your elbow a little bit lower than your shoulder, and we're going to breathe in this position. I want you stacked, so I want your head, shoulders, and hips stacked over each other, so don't round forward. I want you stacked over, but I want you reaching your elbow forward as far as you can. So you're going to be here, and you're going to breathe here. All right? So we're going to go right here. Let me do a quick comparison for you. Okay? So I'm going to do the test for you, and then I'm going to show you a retest. So that's where I'm at.
Okay.
I'm going to see if I can improve that real quick, and then I'm going to have you do it.
Okay.
So if I do the left, see how I get to here?
Mm-hmm.
I get stuck here.
Okay.
I actually have a similar limitation as you right now. So I'm going to go here. And this is something, my right shoulder gets limited, kind of similar to yours. So I'm going to get here. So I had 3 breaths.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I'm expanding my right upper back with my ribs and my shoulder blade in the right position. And it's allowing me to get that rotation back because I'm getting expansion into the back. So think of your back squat as it creates compression in the upper back. I'm creating expansion in the upper back with my arm in the right position. So some level of internal rotation. So I'm doing internal rotation with expansion and a reach that's allowing my rib cage to come to my scapula, which creates some stability, and it allows my range of motion to open up.
Gotcha. So you want right foot forward?
Yeah, but can I have you so your right side facing me?
Oh yeah, absolutely. How's this?
So bend the knees so you're sitting down into a split squat. Tuck your hips under you. There you go. Just like that. So head, shoulders, and hips stay stacked over each other. Reach your elbow forward as far as you can and try and give me 3 to 5 breaths in that position. Try and breathe into the upper back and reach with your right elbow as far as you can. Inhale through your nose. Really long exhale through your mouth. Get all of the air out with that exhale. Reach that elbow forward as far as you can. Yep. Keep reaching the whole time. And sit down into the split squat just a little bit more for me. Yeah, there you go. Feel that expansion in the right shoulder blade. Keep reaching that elbow forward.
I can feel that.
Good. Exhale all the way. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Good. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Reach that elbow forward. Good. Why don't you take a break, and then we're going to do another set.
Okay. I could definitely feel that. Wow.
Feel kind of stretchy?
Yeah. I can feel it during the movement.
Okay. I may add something to this after we do another set. Okay?
Okay.
And it's because of that really tight neck. When you tilt to the left, you feel really tight on the right. Actually, that might be a little bit better already.
Yeah, that feels good.
You feel a stretch, but so we'll see is, do you go a little bit further? Like, do you have improved range of motion with that after doing the exercise?
Okay. Do you want me to do this one more time?
Yeah, let's do another one. Let's try and get around 5 breaths. So yeah, sitting in that split squat, hips tucked under you, head, shoulders, and hips are stacked. Reach that elbow forward as far as you can. The elbow stays just a little bit lower than the shoulder. So the reason for that is so you don't shrug. I don't want you shrugging. Okay, give me like 5 breaths in that position. Try and breathe into the upper back while you are reaching as far as you can. Full exhales. I want you to feel the abs with the exhale. Really long exhales.
Cool. Feel
All
those.
right.
Ooh.
Let's do 4 motions here. First one, recheck this.
Okay.
Remember, no cheating.
I can get to this position with a lot less discomfort.
Okay. I'd say it's still limited. That's why I think we might need that stretch.
Right.
But the fact that you say it's more comfortable is already a positive.
Oh, when I did it last time, it felt like a shooting, like a pain almost.
Okay, that's good to know. I want to write that down.
Yeah, that first time it was pretty brutal.
Okay. Now let's check this one. Elbows to your side, rotate out. What do you feel?
A bit more mobility, a lot less discomfort. This shoulder feels a little full though right now.
Feels what?
Full. Like it's worked out a little bit.
Okay. That's not a bad thing because with that exercise, you should have got some activation in there. More so serratus anterior, you should have been getting active. But you feel like you got more motion there?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's try this one. Oh, that's definitely better. Hold there. Good. Okay, let's try the jumping jack one. Face away from me.
Sure.
What's that feel like?
Like less clogginess as I'm coming up. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like if I can come down a little bit. Yep. Yeah, that range of it's a lot more smoother.
Good. I just want to write some of these things down. Let's get you laying down so we can check that rotation one. So on the right side where especially the internal rotation was most limited.
Sure. Can you see me okay?
Yep.
Okay, I'll try to bring his face. There we go. And you want which rotation first?
Let's go well, let's check external rotation. Let's check both rotations. So external is bring your hand back.
Yep. I can get to about there now before I get some discomfort.
That
the
looks
discomfort
about the
comes.
same.
Yeah, the discomfort comes more in like the lateral delt area, I think.
Okay. Yeah. So like with that, you're creating some impingement, and that's where the that's where the symptoms are, and they can radiate down the arm a little bit.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's
Do
what
you
it
still
feels
feel
like.
the armpit area?
No, actually, that kind of went away a bit. It's definitely gone away a bit from where it was from where we started.
Okay.
It's there a little bit, but not as bad at all.
Okay. Let's check internal rotation.
Okay.
Remember, keep the shoulder down.
It's down.
Well, it's definitely better than where we started. I think it can still improve, but it's still better.
All right.
So we're definitely improved there. Because I eyeballed about 40 degrees. Now we're looking at maybe 50.
Yeah, it definitely felt a bit better. A lot of less discomfort, 100%.
Okay, I'm just writing stuff down.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. All right, let's stay. Can you actually slide to your left a little bit, and let's check both arms overhead.
Absolutely.
And slide to your feet more.
Good.
There you go. Yep.
Do you want the teddy bear behind my head?
I would say put the teddy bear behind your head for consistency, because we used it for the pre-test. Let's check it for the post-test. This one may still be limited. Yeah, we're still a little bit limited. So that means the wall one's probably still going to be limited too. Let's see if we can improve both of those. So you probably know a Zercher squat. We're going to do a certain Zercher squat now. We don't need any equipment for it.
Okay.
So I'll get you standing.
Let me pop you up.
Yeah. Okay, so now for overhead, we're going to go palms facing you. We're going to do both sides. All right, so I'm going to demonstrate. I'll demonstrate from a side view. You're going to sit down into a little bit of squat. So knees come forward, hips stay under you and tucked. All right. Elbows are going to be low again, but palms are going to be facing you this time. Everything stays stacked. You're going to be here, and you're going to breathe from here. Reach the elbows forward. So things are the same, except for we're doing both sides together, and palms are facing you. So it's like similar to the quadruped breathing, for example. So we're going to go here. All right. So let's try and do about 5 breaths of that. Expand the upper back. Full exhales for your feeling the abs kick on. Reach the elbows forward. And then we're going to recheck that test laying down, and we're going to recheck the wall one where you're against the wall. So give me a side facing. So sit into a squat, tuck the hips under you. Reach the elbows forward as far as you can, but I want you to reach them down too so you're not shrugging. There you go. Tuck your hips a little bit more so your lower back, yeah, there you go. Full exhale, reach the elbows forward as far as you can. Feel the upper back expand. Keep reaching the elbows forward. Keep the upper back opened up. Sit into a little bit more of a squat. Keep those hips tucked under. There you go. Long exhales.
Cool.
What do you feel?
I feel like I can feel the upper back expanding when I do that movement. Ooh. And a little dizzy, but, you know, what are you going to do?
Do this for me is let's do your toe touch again real quick. I just want to do like between sets, but give me a side view. Spin around the other way just because we were facing the other way before. And slide to your left just a little bit so I can see your feet. One more big step. Yeah, there you go. Okay, now touch your toes again real quick.
Oh, wow.
So the breathing exercises that we're doing right now is allowing you to elongate those back muscles that are limiting you because of the compression that you're used to applying there, which causes the muscles to shorten. And because of the breathing strategies, we're creating elongation of those so that you're able to lengthen them. And now, like, your toe touch is not so limited. I wouldn't say it's really limited at all, but those, like, especially the upper back area was creating more of a rounding effect so that it's showing that, like your upper traps and stuff like that are elongating better.
Gotcha.
Okay, let's sit in the chair. So pull the chair up in front of me and let's check your neck motions real quick. Look down for me. Do you feel that on the right?
Oh, it's a lot looser than it was before.
Okay. Look up for me.
Yeah.
Let's tip right ear to right shoulder. That should be fine. Now left ear to left shoulder. Ooh, that's not as bad. Still a little bit limited.
Yeah, it feels more tight than anything else.
Yeah, but we're going to try. So I still want to do another set of the Zercher, but I think before we go back to the Zercher, I want to just try a small change of the one where you're reaching forward with the right arm. Because we did get changed with the Zercher, but I want to check if we add one more thing to the right split squat with the right reach. And what that change will be is, I'm going to zoom in here. So here's my right side, is as you're reaching that arm forward, you're going to tip your head to the left and rotate right. So tip left and rotate right. So that's like creating a stretch effect on that right upper trap.
I see what you're saying.
So it's almost like you're facing your arm, but you're tilting away while facing it. So let's go in that right split stance again. Sit the hips under you. Good. So now reach that elbow forward, down a little bit. And now I want you to tip your head left and rotate right. And have your eyes focused on your hand. And breathe from there. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Reach as far as you can. Keep the hips tucked under you. Breathe into that right upper back area. Keep tipping to the left, though.
I got you.
So just so you kind of feel like tension in the right side, so it's kind of like a stretch effect. Keep that elbow reaching forward. Yeah. So keep feeling the stretch on that right side because of the neck position. Keep eyes focused on the hand. Keep reaching that elbow forward. Keep the right upper back expanded. Long exhales. Tip a little bit more. So bring your left ear towards your left shoulder, but keep your eyes focused on your hand. There you go. Elbow reaching forward. Tip again a little bit more. You keep tipping back. Yeah, there you go.
I know.
There you go. So keep reaching that left ear towards the floor. And keep reaching that right elbow forward. I know there's a lot of stuff happening. If it's too hard in that split stance position, then I may have you try it from a seated position.
Okay. No, that was good. It was just getting everything to flow. That's all.
Yeah. So let's go back to the chair and recheck that side bend.
Okay. To the left. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
What do you feel?
It feels like it's loosening up. Like whatever that is, it's definitely not like it was first time.
Yeah. So with a little bit of elongation with the muscles, or in regards to like creating like a stretch effect, with the expansion in there, it may create a quicker change in range of motion compared to if I just had you sit there and stretch for like a couple minutes.
Gotcha.
All right. So it might be something that you can achieve, like loosening the muscles up faster because of the change in muscle tone from the ability to expand that area. So you can create change in muscle tone being like the nervous system kind of locking it down by getting expansion there. Because we proved that in other ways already. So it just may be a way of making it more specific so you don't just have to sit here and just crank on this for X amount of minutes. You may be able to do this really quick and it changes it changes it for you more rapidly.
Okay.
Okay, let's go back to the Zercher again. I want to do another set of the Zercher. And then get you laying on your back again. Check the overhead and then also at the wall.
Okay.
Slide to your left just a little bit.
Gotcha.
There you go. And actually take a step forward just so you're more centered.
Here?
There you go.
Okay.
Tuck your hips under you. There you go. Reach those elbows forward as far as you can. Sit a little bit more into the squat with each one.
Woo! Feel those after a while.
In the legs, right? Quads?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So let's get you laying on your back. Let's check the overhead.
Sure.
And then we'll go to the wall.
Okay. Can you see? Come down a little bit. That good?
I would say go to your left a little bit, just so I can see more of you. Then just slide down towards your feet, just one more scooch.
Sure.
There you go. Are those thumbs at the floor?
They are touching the floor.
All right. So another thing that you could add in there that would be like helpful, like if you're warming up your overhead, is doing a pullover. So that being like you have weight in your hand, you're coming overhead. So try this. So, so bring it overhead, find where the tension is. And now back off the tension just a little bit. And now reach the hands like towards the wall behind you. And here you can hold a kettlebell or like a dumbbell. And now give me 5 breaths. getting long exhales so your rib cage is coming down. Like the front of your rib cage is coming down. Good. Bring the arms back down. Give yourself a moment and go to the, or reach overhead again. What does it feel like? I can't quite see your hands, but you can just give me a quick report.
It's getting closer to the ground each time, but more of a, like the comeback of the arms was more just a natural fall, if that makes sense. There was no like clogginess along the way. It was more of just up, back, and then kind of stops. Now, if I was to just like, my elbows are straight and my thumbs are brushing the ground. My elbows are straight. Now, if I was to bend them a little, obviously I'd be able to get it. But yeah, the range of motion is definitely improved on that, especially like just fluent motion.
Okay, good. Now let's check the one standing at the wall where you're sitting in that little bit of a squat against the wall. Everything, your head, your whole back, and your butt are against the wall. Let's check that one.
Can you see me okay?
Yeah, just slide to your left just a little bit.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, that's good. Everything against the wall. Okay, you're closer.
That's about as far as I can get on that one.
Try one more time. Or try this. Let's try. This might give your legs a little bit of a break. But we're going to try that same Zercher just really quick where you're sitting against the wall and doing it like this. You might be able to focus more on that reach because you're kind of resting into the wall a little bit. Tuck your hips under you, reach the elbows forward. Long exhales, everything you got.
Cool. Should I try the overhead again?
Correct.
All right. I feel like I'm closer.
You're definitely getting closer.
Cool. Whew. Oh,
Give me just some general. What's that?
Oh, I didn't know if you got a picture. Do you want a picture of that, or
I got a screenshot of it.
Okay, cool.
But just give me some general motions. Let me know how it's feeling. Symptom-wise, do you feel the ache?
It's still, like, here's the thing. It still feels a little full, okay? But the range of motion, it just feels like everything's way more not clogged up when I'm trying to do it. You know what I mean? Even the neck feels a little better. Like, it feels like that. It definitely feels like something's, how do I say it? Like, impinging the movement. Does that make sense?
Oh,
and
yeah.
Whatever's doing it is definitely getting worked out. But I just think my shoulder just took the brunt of it. And that's where all the, whatever's stemming from there. And that's, I mean, but as far as like, it feels a lot better. Like it feels like it's declogging, if that makes sense.
Sure does.
You know what I mean?
All right. So I do want to try a little bit of, I do want to try a stretch that makes things a little bit more focal to the shoulder, and then again, see where you're at from there. This one we're going to spend a little bit of time on, but so you're going to lay on your right side. Let's go head on the pillow. We may not even need something like that, and we're going to do this stretch and just
Okay.
spend some time there. You can do a little bit of PNF where you push into your hand and then relax it. And just spend some time here. Try and find comfortable where you feel a stretch. Likely the stretch is going to be in the upper and posterior shoulder area.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Just gotta do some really quick. Some really quick. I just got a client. I just pushed back about 15 minutes. No biggie. Want me to bring you to the floor?
Yes.
Okay. And I could edit all this stuff. So yeah, I said a client I had to push back. It's gonna go in like 15 minutes.
Okay,
All
so
right.
12, 15 you got them?
Yeah, I gotta bounce.
Okay.
Okay, so
Slide towards your feet. Use teddy bear for a pillow. And
gotcha. On my head or on my arm?
Head. So you can relax your head.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yeah, so lay on your right side. First of all, let's see how laying on your left side or on your right side feels. Elbow stays in line with your shoulder.
Okay.
So bring your elbow up just a little bit. And now put your left hand on your right wrist and the back of your hand. Yes, and now push down. Again, think windshield wiper. Just rotation, just like that. So you feel a stretch. There you go.
Okay.
Do you feel a stretch there?
Yep.
Yeah, let's spend some time there.
That's almost like a direct hit on what I'm feeling.
Like you feel pain there or just like location wise?
I can feel like a stretch going all the way up my arm right now.
Is it comfortable?
Oh yeah, it feels good.
Okay. Okay, so let's go. Keep holding it. Still feel good?
Mm-hmm.
And then let's go. Almost done there. Spend a little bit more time.
When do you guys get to open back up?
I would assume we're in phase 4. I mean, I would assume gyms are part of recreation.
I didn't know with you though how that worked.
Well, I should be able to open sooner. Like I could technically be seeing people. You can go ahead and relax. I could technically be seeing people now if they have a script from a doctor, which makes it medically necessary. Or, uh-oh. Are you still there? Hello.
You there? Sorry about that.
Yeah, I'm good.
That thing fell out of my ear. Must have hung up. Okay, cool.
Anyways, I could technically be seeing people. You can actually stand up and let's just check your motions after doing the stretch. But my wife and I just decided that, like, first of all, I can only see people if it's medically necessary, like with a script from a doctor. But with our home situation, being isolated with an infant and a toddler, it's like our situation is tough where it's like, say I got sick, my wife is stuck with both of them, like on her own while she's still trying to work as well. So
yeah,
like we would rather just kind of wait this out, seeing that we're both on like maternity/paternity leave right now anyways, which mine actually expired Monday. But still, it's like, all right, we'd rather not mess up our situation here, which I'm still able to see people through this, so I'm still able to work a little bit. So, all right, let's check reaching behind your back. Ooh, that looks good.
Yeah, doesn't it? That feels better. Like it feels like nothing's clogging up on the way there. Like I can get there without anything clogging up.
Slide to your right just a little bit. There you go. Now reach behind. Right there. What does it feel like? It's still limited, but what does it feel like?
It feels like it's little to no, like very little discomfort trying to get that high. Where before, honestly, that first one I did, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to need to take a break. Where now it's like, oh, I can throw it right up there with little to no discomfort.
Yeah. And so here's the thing. This is not like a cop-out or anything, but you do have muscle mass. And as a result of muscle mass, it will limit you a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's like, all right, how does it feel at the end? And the fact that you feel less discomfort, less symptoms, less restricted, like that's what matters with some of these things. All right. Let's turn around and let's just check the jumping jack.
Sure. I'll squat down. You want me to get on my knees and do it?
No, you can just do a quick little squat and we should be good. I would take a small step to the right and you're good. What does it feel like?
Less clogged up. Like I can get my arms up there. The lats still feel a little tight, but nothing that's, you know what I mean?
I could send you something for that with regards to the lats being tight. I'll send you something. Let me write that down. All right, so I got 5 exercises for you to work on, all right? So we got the right split squat breathing with the right neutral serratus reach. So that's this one. Then I have you, so doing that first, and then from there is adding in the head tilt, then the Zercher, and you can use the wall for the Zercher.
Okay.
I think the wall with the Zercher gave you a little extra for that.
Yeah, a little bit less yeah.
So those 3 breathing ones, which gets your upper back so you have more expansion and more ability to move, and it kind of resets your shoulder blades a little bit. And then the sleeper stretch where you're on your side there. And then I'm going to show you just real quick, because I think we both have to go, is the other one that I'm going to give you. I'm going to actually put you here. You're going to sit down like this, palms facing up, similar to the Zercher. And you're going to sit into a squat like this. Or not sit into a squat, but sit back into a stretch like this. If it's hard to keep your hands open, you can actually just take like a broomstick or something. Can you still see me?
Yeah, I don't know why that was on there. Go ahead.
Okay. So you can use like a broomstick, or if you have a PVC pipe, you can hold that in your hands and just sit back and breathe like this. That's a good, easy one to tone down the lats. So I'm going to send that one to you too. I have a video of that.
Perfect.
That's awesome.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
And then I guess if people want to get a hold of you, how can they get a hold of you?
So my email is anthony.albano.dpt@gmail. You can find me on Instagram. My website should be up relatively soon. So, and that's just going to be albanopt.com. So, but yeah, I could send you more info on that stuff. But yeah, I would say the easiest way is either email or Instagram or even my Facebook page. I also have a Facebook page as well. So, so yeah, just my Facebook and my Instagram are just Anthony Albano, Doctor of Physical Therapy. So, all right.
Cool. I want to let people know that, because once like I said, I'll get this out, edit it. I'll mess with the cloud and see how that kind of goes. It's my first time doing it like this, but if so, you still got pictures and stuff though, right? You still took pics. And feel free, like I said, if you need to write whatever you need to write, if you need to know HIPAA, like if you need to write something, you have my permission to write. This is what we're working on. This is what we're doing. And then I figured we could do a follow-up video once we're open. You know what I mean? And then we can go in and kind of talk about where we were and where we are.
Actually, you know what might work is, I mean, if you don't mind, is like when we're nearing, like maybe in like a month or so from now. So I do have something waiting with a professional photographer. If you don't mind being one of my subjects with a professional photographer for like professional photos done, like for my website, for my social media, stuff like that. So
absolutely, man. Just let me know.
Cool, man.
That's no problem at all.
Awesome. So I'll let you go so you can catch your breath before your client.
Yeah.
I got family stuff happening, and I'll get you your stuff as soon as I can. But hey, you can very easily just like throughout your day, it's like quickly just bang out a quick set of right foot forward here, just breathe here, and then work on tilting your head so you're elongating here. All right, you can quickly bang that out. Do a quick Zercher breathing one. You can just quickly bang those out real quick, like during your day. You could do like 3 or 5 breaths every hour if you want to.
Yeah, that's what I figure I'll do, is find ways to get it in throughout the day so I'm not so clogged up at once and trying to do everything. But then on days I train, I still do the hip mobility and stuff like that too. So
yeah, but yeah, you can quickly do it in between clients, or if a client's doing an exercise, you can quickly bang it out while they're getting some reps in. So yeah, you could easily get those things in just real quick. That's what I like about those. It's like you don't really need any equipment. You just do it real quick. You could do it while you're waiting for something heating up or cooking or something like that.
Yeah, they're fairly easy.
All right, man.
Cool, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And I will talk to you soon.
Yeah, we'll try and set up a follow-up. We'll see if you want to set a follow-up like this again, we can do that, or we could do it in the gym, like hopefully in like maybe a month or so, something like that.
That's what I was thinking. I'll work on the exercise here that you give me, and then if I have questions, I'll shoot you a text. And then when we get in, when it first opens, I'd like to get in and just redo everything.
Sounds good, man.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye.